Welcome to Life Lessons. This is a space where we explore and share insights on wisdom, peace, and spiritual strength through Buddhist philosophy and profound life values. In modern life, we all have moments when we feel caught in the relentless whirlpool of work, family, responsibilities, and endless concerns. Sometimes we ask ourselves, can I escape this anxiety and stress? But the answer often lies not in continually seeking solutions to every problem, but in daring to let go of what is no longer necessary. Have you ever wondered what happens when we dare to let go? When we stop trying to control everything and accept that all things are impermanent, a new door may open, the door that leads to true peace. In today's video, we will explore how wisdom and letting go help us lighten our psychological burdens, allowing us to experience deeper tranquility and true happiness. If you are ready to discover the path to spiritual freedom and inner peace, stay with us. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss our future insights from Life Lessons. Thank you for joining us on this journey toward serenity, and now, let's begin exploring the wonders of letting go. Part 1, Letting Go in Buddhist Teachings, a Journey to Wisdom and Inner Peace. In Buddhist teachings, letting go is a central element that helps individuals achieve freedom and inner tranquility. However, letting go is not merely about abandoning or denying what we have, it is a method to free the mind from the constraints of craving, fear, and attachment to notions that do not truly reflect the nature of life. What is letting go? According to the Buddha, letting go is not the act of abandoning responsibility or severing ties with reality. On the contrary, it is a way for us to engage more deeply with reality without being led by expectations and the need for control. When we let go, our souls are no longer bound by negative emotions such as jealousy, anger, or greed. Letting go is about recognizing and accepting the impermanent nature of all things. Everything is in constant flux, and clinging only brings suffering. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment to what we desire, what we fear losing, and even attachment to the images and opinions we assign to ourselves. When we fail to recognize the nature of attachment, we imprison ourselves in delusions and illusions. Letting go is a journey toward liberation from these constraints. Forms of letting go in Buddhist teachings. Letting go of craving. Craving, tanha, is one of the three poisons, craving, aversion, ignorance, that bind the mind to desires and attachments. Craving leads people into the cycle of birth and death as they incessantly chase after what they wish to possess, accumulate, and control. When craving dominates, our minds are always in a state of dissatisfaction, wanting more, better, or newer. The Buddha taught that recognizing craving is the first step to letting go. When we understand that desire is the root of suffering, we can begin to view everything more objectively. Practicing mindfulness and self-observation are ways to recognize and not allow craving to dictate our actions. Letting go of fear. Fear is another form of attachment, arising from our unwillingness to lose what we have. In Buddhism, fear stems from a misunderstanding of the self and the impermanent nature of reality. We fear loss, loneliness, and death because we believe our identity is eternal and that what we possess will last forever. The Buddha taught that the essence of fear is also delusion. Practicing meditation and gaining a deep understanding of impermanence can help us let go of these fears. When we realize that everything changes, we will see that clinging to anything only creates pain. Letting go of fear liberates us from feelings of insecurity, leading us to true peace. Letting go of the ego. One of the deepest forms of attachment is clinging to the self or ego, atta. The ego encompasses everything we think of as I, reputation, status, personal opinions, emotions, and material possessions. We identify ourselves with these factors and often cling to them to the extent that if they change or disappear, we feel unsettled and suffer. The Buddha emphasized the concept of non-self, anatta, the idea that the self does not exist independently and lacks a fixed nature. Letting go of the ego frees individuals from selfish desires and personal conflicts, leading to tranquility and a profound understanding of oneself and everything around us. Benefits of letting go. Letting go not only frees us from negative emotions but also opens the door to genuine tranquility and happiness. When we are no longer tied to what we cannot control, we can embrace life more fully and authentically. The mind is no longer haunted by ambitions or fears, allowing us to experience the present moment with peace. When we understand and practice letting go, we can live a life not disturbed by external emotions and situations. This is spiritual freedom, where we focus solely on the present moment, accepting everything that comes with a tranquil mindset. How to practice letting go? Recognize and accept. The first step in the journey of letting go is to recognize what we are attached to and accept it. Acceptance here does not mean surrender, but a profound awareness of the current state without judgment. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditation helps us observe emotions and thoughts objectively, free from being swept away by them. Mindfulness helps us focus on the present moment, freeing ourselves from worries about the future and regrets about the past. Contemplate impermanence. Understanding that everything is impermanent and nothing lasts forever will help us let go more easily. When we realize that all things change, we have no reason to cling to anything. Practice compassion and forgiveness. When we cultivate compassion for others and practice forgiveness, we will find it easier to let go of hatred and the desire to possess. This not only lightens our psychological burdens but also brings peace and happiness to both ourselves and others. Letting go, as the Buddha taught, is not an act of abandonment but a way to live fully and freely. It is the path to discovering profound wisdom and inner peace. When we no longer cling to the temporary, we recognize the true nature of life, a life without suffering and insecurity. Letting go is a journey of spiritual growth, and only by daring to let go can we open our hearts to eternal peace and happiness. Part 2, Letting Go and Wisdom, the Path to Inner Peace. Letting go is an important step on the journey of developing wisdom according to Buddhist teachings, helping us achieve a state of mind that is peaceful and happy. In a world where everything is impermanent and constantly changing, understanding and accepting the fluctuations of all things is fundamental to attaining true wisdom. The Buddha taught that life is a series of changes, and what we cling to only brings suffering. By letting go, we can overcome fear, free our minds from the constraints of ambition, and attain a profound inner freedom. Understanding impermanence. In Buddhist teachings, impermanence, anicca, is one of the core principles. All things and phenomena are subject to impermanence, from the objects around us to our emotions and thoughts. Recognizing impermanence is not about denying the value of life or what we cherish, but rather seeing the true nature of reality. The Buddha taught that everything changes, from plants and mountains to the cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death in humans, as well as our internal emotions and thoughts. When we realize that nothing lasts forever, we can lessen our suffering caused by unrealistic expectations of permanence. Wisdom arises when we accept that the nature of the world is change, and rather than fleeing from it or complaining, we can learn to embrace and live in harmony with that flow. Letting go and freedom. Letting go does not mean abandoning everything. In fact, letting go is a liberation from the constraints and expectations we create for ourselves. When we cling to something, we do not allow our minds to be free. Attachment makes us feel heavy, anxious, and worried, as we constantly fear losing what we love or not achieving what we desire. Letting go allows us to live more naturally. For example, when we relinquish the desire to control everything in our lives, we reduce unnecessary anxieties and can more easily accept reality. This does not mean living irresponsibly. On the contrary, when we are not bound by expectations, we can make wiser and more thoughtful decisions, live more meaningfully, and experience life more fully. Letting go and wisdom. Wisdom, prajna, in Buddhism is not just knowledge, it is the ability to see the truth clearly and profoundly. When we let go of attachments, wisdom emerges. We realize that attachment is the root of suffering, and we no longer cling tightly to things beyond our control. Letting go allows us to see a larger picture of life and approach every situation with a peaceful mindset. A clear example of wisdom through letting go is when facing loss. In life, loss is unavoidable. It may be the loss of a loved one, the loss of possessions, or changes in life circumstances. If we cling to the expectation that everything will last forever, we will suffer pain whenever there is change. However, when we understand that loss is part of life, we can accept and transcend the pain with tranquility. This is the wisdom that arises from letting go. Methods for practicing letting go. Contemplate impermanence. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, from birth, aging, illness, and death to the events and circumstances around us. Contemplating impermanence is an important method to recognize that nothing is everlasting. When we see that everything changes, we will find it easier to accept the departure of things we cherish. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us focus on the present and prevents our minds from being drawn away by negative thoughts or unrealistic expectations. By concentrating on the present, we find it easier to let go of worries about the past and future, thereby reducing pressure and living more lightly. Meditation. Meditation helps us observe thoughts and emotions objectively, without getting caught up in them. When we can detach from negative emotions and not let them control our minds, we are more capable of letting go of feelings of anxiety, fear, or anger. Practice loving kindness and equanimity. The Buddha taught that loving kindness, metta, and equanimity, upekkha, are essential qualities that help individuals live harmoniously with themselves and others. When we cultivate loving kindness and equanimity, we find it easier to let go of hatred and jealousy. Loving kindness enables us to empathize with ourselves and others, while equanimity helps us accept and release negative emotions. Benefits of letting go in life. Letting go helps us achieve a state of mind that is peaceful, where the soul is no longer disturbed by external factors. This does not mean we become indifferent, rather, we gain the ability to face any situation with clarity and calmness. When we are no longer influenced by ambition, fear, or attachment to the self, we feel freer, happier, and can experience life more fully. Letting go also improves our relationships. When we do not try to control others or expect them to behave in ways we desire, relationships become more authentic and free from unrealistic expectations. We find it easier to forgive, empathize, and accept one another. Letting go is one of the key elements in Buddhist teachings for achieving wisdom and inner peace. When we understand that life is impermanent, we no longer try to cling tightly to things beyond our control. Instead, we can learn to live in the present, accepting change and loss with a tranquil mind. Letting go is not about abandoning responsibilities but rather a way for us to live freely, unbound by unrealistic desires and fears. It is the freedom of the soul and mind, helping us deeply appreciate the nature of life and find serenity amid turmoil. Part 3: 3 Simple Steps to Letting Go, The Journey to Freedom and Peace. Letting go can be a challenging concept to grasp and practice, but with some basic steps and perseverance, we can easily enter a state of freedom, tranquility, and peace. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, and our suffering arises from clinging to things we cannot control. By identifying and accepting our emotions, observing our thoughts without judgment, and practicing meditation, we can gradually walk the path of letting go to reduce stress and anxiety and find peace in life. Step 1: Identify and accept emotions. Emotions are natural human responses to situations, but we often try to deny, suppress, or force ourselves to escape uncomfortable feelings. To truly let go, the first step is to identify and accept those emotions. This means genuinely acknowledging your feelings without denying them. If you feel sad, anxious, angry, or afraid, allow yourself to experience that feeling without trying to change or avoid it. How to identify emotions. Name the emotion. When a particular emotion arises, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Name the emotion, such as sadness, anger, frustration, or anxiety. Labeling it helps clarify the emotion, and once you recognize it, that feeling will no longer feel overwhelming or threatening. Remind yourself that emotions are temporary. Understand that all emotions, whether positive or negative, will pass. In fact, everything in life changes, including emotions. When we accept our feelings without clinging to them, they will gradually fade and disappear naturally. Allow the emotion to exist. Do not try to suppress or fight against your emotions. When you allow emotions to exist without judgment, you will feel a sense of relief. For example, when you feel angry, say to yourself, "I am angry, and that is okay." The feeling of anger will diminish as you accept it without needing to act on it. Step 2. Observe thoughts without judgment. One of the biggest obstacles to letting go is that our minds constantly generate thoughts, pulling us along with them. Thoughts about the past, worries for the future, or continuous judgments emerge and dominate our minds, making us feel tired and stressed. To let go, we need to learn how to observe our thoughts objectively, like an outsider, without letting them influence our emotions or actions. How to observe thoughts. Remind yourself, this is just a thought. When a thought arises, remind yourself, this is just a thought, not reality. This helps create distance between yourself and the thought, preventing your mind from becoming attached to it. When you realize that thoughts are merely a flow in the mind, they lose their power over you. Observe thoughts as an outsider. Imagine you are standing outside and looking into your mind from a distance. When thoughts arise, observe them like clouds drifting across the sky. You can observe, but there is no need to cling to or act upon them. Just as you would not chase away or hold on to a dark cloud, you simply let it pass. Do not judge thoughts as good or bad. Judging thoughts pulls us into a cycle of negativity. When you have a thought that you perceive as unpleasant, do not try to push it away or deny it. Instead, just recognize that it exists and allow it to fade away naturally. When you refrain from judgment, you will find that thoughts automatically diminish and become lighter. Step 3. Practice meditation. Meditation is one of the most effective methods for achieving tranquility and the ability to let go. Meditation helps you connect with the present moment, focus on your breath, and calm the mind. As you practice meditation, you will gradually learn to release negative thoughts and emotions, replacing them with peace and deeper awareness. How to meditate to let go. Choose a quiet space. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably without interruptions. A peaceful environment helps your mind focus and relax more easily. Focus on your breath. Sit down and begin to pay attention to your breath. Take a deep breath in and exhale gently. As you focus on your breath, you will notice your mind gradually becoming still. Whenever thoughts arise, gently return your focus to your breath without getting swept up in the flow of thoughts. Observe sensations in your body. As you concentrate on your breath, listen to the sensations in your body. Feel the heartbeat, the contact of your body with the chair, and other sensations. This helps you connect with the present and clearly feel every change in your mind and body, aiding in letting go of tension and anxiety. Do not try to control. Meditation is not about controlling thoughts, it is about learning to observe them. Allow thoughts and emotions to arise, observe them, and let them dissolve on their own. You will experience a profound sense of peace when you stop trying to control everything. Letting go is not an instantaneous process, it is a journey that requires perseverance and practice. The 3 steps outlined above, identifying and accepting emotions, observing thoughts without judgment, and practicing meditation, are simple and effective ways you can let go of attachments, leading to a free and tranquil mind. By letting go, you not only free yourself from stress and anxiety but also discover true inner peace and happiness. This is the state of wisdom that the Buddha encourages us to pursue, a place where we live harmoniously with everything around us, unbound by meaningless attachments, and experience true freedom in every moment of life. Part 4. The peace found in letting go, the journey to fully living in the present. Letting go is a simple act, but to achieve it, we must have a deep understanding of the nature of life. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, that life is always changing, and that what we cling to only brings suffering. When we learn to let go, we not only find freedom but also a profound inner peace, a feeling of living fully in the present without being burdened by the past or the future. 1. The meaning of peace in letting go. In Buddhist teachings, peace is not merely a state free from suffering, it is an inner freedom, an unshakable tranquility. When we let go, we are no longer weighed down by expectations, anxiety, or fear. Peace arises when we accept that life is a continuous flow, where everything comes and goes, and we are only observers, not needing to intervene or control everything. Letting go does not mean abandoning responsibility or pushing everything away. Instead, it allows us to live more naturally, no longer clinging to things we cannot change. When we let go, we find that life becomes lighter, and we can appreciate the beauty and joy in each moment. 2. Letting go as the path to inner freedom. In Buddhism, inner freedom is a state where the soul is not bound by negative emotions such as ambition, anger, or suffering. Inner freedom comes when we can naturally let go of those emotions without feeling controlled by them. The Buddha taught that all human suffering arises from clinging and the desire to control. When we release these desires, our souls become serene. One of the methods the Buddha recommended for achieving inner freedom is practicing mindfulness. Through mindfulness, we become clearly aware of each moment, recognizing our thoughts and emotions without letting them take control. We observe them naturally and allow them to come and go. Letting go is not about forcefully pushing thoughts away but allowing them to naturally dissipate when they no longer hold power over us. 3. The journey of living fully in the present. To live fully in the present, we must first free ourselves from the burdens of the past and the anxieties of the future. The past is gone, and the future has yet to arrive, but human minds are easily drawn into the whirlpool of these two extremes, causing us to forget that the present is the only moment that truly exists. The Buddha taught that accepting the present fully is one of the best ways to attain happiness and peace. When we let go, we can embrace the present naturally. We are no longer overly concerned about what will happen or how to prepare for the future. Instead, we can enjoy simple moments, such as admiring a flower, breathing in fresh air, or listening to the sound of birds singing. It is within these moments that we find true joy and serenity. 4. Practicing letting go according to Buddhist teachings. Letting go is not easy, but through perseverance and practice, we can reach a state of true release. Below are some methods of practice according to the Buddha's teachings. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is maintaining a clear awareness of the present moment, undistracted by thoughts of the past or worries about the future. When we practice mindfulness, all actions, emotions, and thoughts are observed naturally. We can start with simple actions such as paying attention to our breath, feeling each step we take, or listening to the sounds around us clearly. Meditate on impermanence. In Buddhist meditation, meditating on impermanence helps us recognize that everything changes, and nothing lasts forever. When we understand that all things are impermanent, we see that clinging to anything will only bring suffering. Meditating on impermanence helps us accept change and loss, thus enabling us to let go naturally. Observe emotions without judgment. When a strong emotion arises, instead of trying to push it away or deny it, observe it without judgment. We can ask ourselves, where does this emotion come from, or what can it teach me? Observing emotions without trying to control them helps us naturally and more easily release negative feelings. 5. The benefits of peace from letting go. Letting go brings freedom, allowing the mind and soul to feel lighter. When we are no longer influenced by negative thoughts, ambition, or anxiety, our souls experience tranquility and freedom. Letting go also provides us with a clearer perspective on life, enabling us to make decisions wisely and calmly. Life becomes lighter when we truly let go. This does not mean we stop loving or caring for those around us, rather, it means we do not allow feelings and attachments to dominate us. When we cease to cling, love and compassion become clearer and more natural, free from the constraints of expectations and conditions. Conclusion. True peace from letting go. Letting go is not a single act but a process. The Buddha taught that when we release attachment and negative emotions, we will find true peace from within. This requires patience, compassion, and wisdom to see things as they truly are. By understanding and practicing letting go, we gain the ability to live a lighter, unbound life, experiencing freedom in every moment. Life is a journey, and that journey becomes easier when we stop trying to control everything. Letting go is not about giving up, it is a way to draw closer to the true nature of happiness and peace. Through the practice of mindfulness, meditation, and naturally recognizing our emotions, we will gradually realize that the peace found in letting go is not distant but can be attained right here and now, as we fully engage with the present. Thank you for watching. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to click follow and share to spread the values of peace and wisdom to others. We always appreciate your companionship on this journey towards serenity and meaning in life. Let's work together to build a stronger, more positive community each day. If you have any topics related to peace, wisdom, or any aspect of life that you would like to explore further, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. We are always listening and will soon create videos that best serve you. Thank you for your support. See you in the next videos.